On part 1 of The Awakening of Zombie Z06, you got to see everything that happened up to the point of engine failure. Now find out what happens when we take it to the shop. Success, I believe, comes to the ones who dare, even after failure, to think positively and look forward. Failures are a part of life. If you don't fail, you don't learn. If you don't learn, you'll never change. FJ Performance immediately jumped on the car and started diagnosing the problems. The motor was removed from the car and sent to a local engine shop named P&R Engine Builders. They did a full teardown and sent over the pictures. It was really worse than anyone had thought.
In this industry, when you get into a fully built motor, we'll use the Zombie Z06 as an example. You see the chip foof shows and you see these shows and they're, 1 week and done. It's not like that. To do it right, there's a several month process, start to finish.
The engine had experienced catastrophic oil pressure loss, which resulted in engine detonation. The top of the piston shows it was running very lean. The spark plugs also say the same thing. The rod bearings show the car was detonating pretty bad, especially in number 7 and number 8. The crank is discolored and unusable, and some bad main bearings.
The motor had gone. We had probably 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight of just discussing what we wanted to do, what our goals were, what our game plan is. And then, once we come up with a game plan, we have another week or so of discussing with you and you making the decision on what all your best options are. Some people just think, oh, I saw on the internet this is the best way to make 700 horsepower, 800 horsepower, click, click, buy, but you don't see all the things that go into it, the fuel systems, the wiring that needs to go into it, speccing the motor out right. Just speccing something the difference of a cam size, plus or minus a little bit, can throw off the build so drastically that you're going to miss your goals. There's a lot of planning and calculating going into it. And then once you get past that, then you get to the machine shop. There's a lot of fine-tuning and getting everything in and speccing everything out right.
I will not let this failure define me. Instead, it will motivate me. Since August of 2015, I have been working very closely with FJ Performance on building the car of my dreams. I'm investing a lot of my hard-earned money into this project, so I wanted to make sure that I was working with the best builders. I did a lot of research on the most popular Corvette builders on the East Coast. Each one had a reputation that was better than the next, but they all had the same thing in common. I would need to ship my car hundreds of miles away, and I would not be able to see any progress or check on the car due to the distance. Being the typical Corvette owner, that was a very hard pill to swallow. This car is like my child, and for it to be that far away in the hands of strangers was just too much.
And then once it gets done at the machine shop, coming back here and putting the motor back in the car and being clean and covering up all the panels and covering up everything. And obviously Zombie Z got that treatment. Every customer gets that treatment. We specialize in pretty much any domestic made car. We're EFI tuners, we're Cobb Pro tuners, we use HP tuners. And my main philosophy when it comes to customer service, it doesn't matter if you're spending $1 or you're spending $1 million. You're a customer of ours, you need to be treated with the same respect, the same everything. I know what it's like to be a customer, so I would rather call you and tell you if we have a parts delay, hey, I know you were really excited to get your car back this day, here's what we've written into, and I've really found out that honesty is key. Your car's your baby, you want to know what your baby's doing, how it's doing. You can always fire us a text or shoot us a message and we can respond back.
FJ Performance offered the high level of service and quality that I needed, but they're also very close to home, which was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I had worked with them in the past on my yellow Corvette, and they were very excited about starting this project with me. We call it Zombie Z. Why Zombie Z? The car was named by my wife, and it got the name after it rose from the dead. You can't keep this Z06 down, and that's also my personal motto in life. I've been knocked down a lot, but each time I get back up.
We have a pretty big plans for Zombie Z over the winter. I won't get into details of everything that's going to be done just yet, but you know, it's going to be a real head turner as far as power and as far as looks underneath the hood. So I would just tell you to stay tuned for that. We have some pretty big plans for it.
I'm always reminded by the quote by James Faust. Adversity is the refiner's fire, that bends iron but tempers steel. And I love to live by those words. I've become stronger each time I've risen from adversity, just like my Zombie Z06. Each time she rises, she gets stronger and better. Next year will be an amazing year for us. There's some big changes coming under the hood and possibly some exterior changes. One thing you can surely count on is that we'll be back and we'll be better than ever.